call to order this meeting, the last meeting of the year for the Susquehanna Township Board of Commissioners. I would note that all commissioners are present. We did have an executive session where we discussed matters of personnel and real estate. At this point, I'd like to have a pledge of allegiance and moment of silence, and if we could have the pledge led by Commissioner Knapp.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, welcome everybody. Swan Song meeting of 2025. We'll begin with petitions, complaints, and suggestions from citizens. Anybody wish to address the board today? Yes, ma'am. Sir. People.
My name is Ian Thomas. I'm at 1611 Lone Terrace, and this is my wife, Rachel Benbow. If it is possible for me to yield my few minutes to my wife, Rachel? Okay, thank you.
My name is Rachel Benbow. I'm a Susquehanna Township resident and a business owner, and I want to thank the Township for its interest and concern in the health and well-being of its residents. I also want to thank Teresa Everly and Carl Hissero for listening to my concerns and looking into the need to change the Township's massage establishment application. This evening, I'm excited to have the opportunity to bring to the board's awareness outdated inaccuracies in our Township's municipal codes. I'm here tonight because a few weeks ago I received a massage establishment license application which asks for my social security number, motor vehicle license number, employment for the last 3 years, residence for the last 3 years, police check fee, attached owner's photograph and or fingerprints, and requires a notarization. From what I have read in Susquehanna Township ordinances, no other license that the Township requires asks for anything as invasive as this. There are also no other health professionals that I have read that are required to have licensure through the Township. Massage is explicitly singled out. We massage therapists are professionally licensed in the state of Pennsylvania. Massage therapy licensure was created after the Township ordinance was written. In 1999, the Township created Ordinance 99-9 to regulate and monitor the practice of massage. The board, to quote, "The Board of Township Commissioners are aware that the practice of body massage under certain circumstances can scientifically promote physical well-being. It is further recognized that the physical contact involved in such practice can provide a source of communication disease for which the health and safety of the community requires local government control and supervision," end quote. The challenge with this statement is that the Township has exclusively singled out massage therapists for sanitation supervision. No other health practices are monitored by the Township. Chiropractors, acupuncturists, physical therapists, occupational therapists, Reiki practitioners, dentists, or medical doctors in private practice. To be equitable and just, the Township should monitor all health professions for sanitation or monitor no one. Massage therapists should not be singled out. I would like to inform the board that in 2008, the state of Pennsylvania established the Massage Therapy Law Act number 118. Since 2011, massage therapy has been a state licensed health profession. Licensed massage therapists, or LMTs, are subject to the rules of the law, provision of the Massage Therapy Board, and subject to inspections, like any other licensed health profession. The massage therapy law includes detailed stipulations in 20.51 through 20.54 about sanitation, facility, and equipment requirements. This includes stipulations for massage therapy treatment areas, equipment, topical preparations, and linens. Massage as a health profession has been singled out by the Township. About 1/3 of the introductory paragraph of the Township Ordinance 13-401 states the following, quote, "This board further recognizes that various businesses operating under the guise of practicing body massage, sometimes called massage parlors, are intended to stimulate sexual and erotic reactions, which this board believes is contrary to the morals and welfare of this Township. In addition to regulating the legitimate and bona fide practice of massage, this Board of Township Commissioners intends to prohibit or prevent the abuse of said practice for sexual or erotic stimulation purposes." In 1999, the Township admirably was trying to address the legitimate problem of prostitution and human trafficking in the guise of massage establishments. However, prostitution and human trafficking are criminal offenses and should be handled by our township's excellent police department. The Township Health Board and Township Health Officer are not trained to identify or handle illegal sex operations or human trafficking. The District Attorney of Cumberland County has been doing an excellent job of addressing fake massage establishments that are engaged in human trafficking. It might benefit our township to connect with the Cumberland County DA to emulate their successful strategies. Human trafficking is a hugely important issue, and the state of Pennsylvania created Act 118 and the Massage Therapy Board to help address this issue. The 1999 Township Ordinance was written before licensure in PA. As part of Act 118, anyone practicing massage or advertising the practice of massage without a license is subject to criminal prosecution. The massage establishment license application does not ask for our massage license. The ordinance is antiquated and is no longer needed because we have state licensure. The ordinance should also be eliminated because we are the only health professionals the township permits and licenses. It is possible that licensed massage therapists may inherently be exempt from massage establishment license. In Ordinance 13-403 describing massage establishments, it explicitly, quote, excludes licensed hospitals, licensed nursing homes, licensed mental health clinics, medical clinics, and the offices and quarters of licensed health profession practitioners. They want to say licensed cosmetologists, cosmeticians, and barbers. Licensed massage therapists are licensed health profession practitioners. By the ordinance's own definition, licensed massage therapists should be excluded. I may be mistaken, but it seems like people illegally practicing massage without a PA state license would be the only ones who would be subject to this ordinance. In summary, licensed massage therapists should not be singled out for sanitation monitoring when all other health professions also have sanitation risks. It is not within the scope of practice for the health board to monitor for sexual crimes and human trafficking. That is in the purview of the police department. Also, as it stands in the township's ordinance itself, licensed massage therapists as licensed health professionals should be exempt from needing a massage establishment license. Thank you so much for your time and your consideration.
All right, thank you. And I know that you talked with Manager Everly, and I'd like to thank staff for putting together the fee schedule review that includes this, and put a lot of work and time into it, and there's more to go. But do appreciate your input.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good night. Anybody else wish to address the board? All right. Moving on to approval of minutes.
Mr. President, I'd like to move for approval of the November 13th regular meeting minutes and the November 17th special meeting minutes.
Very good, Secretary.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Public hearings. At this point, we're going to go into a public hearing both on the budget for 2026 as well as for the tax assessment rate. So I will hereby suspend our meeting and open up a public hearing. Ask Mr. Miller to chair.
Thank you, Mr. President. Now is the time and place is publicly noticed to have a public hearing on the tax rates and assessments for the 2026 fiscal year, as well as the 2026 Susquehanna annual budget. I will ask the manager to make the advertisement part of the record. In addition, the budget has been on display for the required period of time under the Second Township Code. I don't know of the manager who has covered this extensively, along with the head of the budget committee, Commissioner Sanderson, in prior meetings, but if there's any other comment you'd like to make about either the budget or tax rates, Commissioner Sanderson? No. Is there any member of the public that would like to be heard on either the budget or the tax rates? Democracy going once, twice, thrice. Mr. President, The time being noticed, the opportunity to be heard having been made, I would close the record and ask you to move on to HIA. That's not a joke. That's actually what it's H1A. That's right. Resolution 25R17. You can close the hearing. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bell. Hearing is closed. Resuming our regular meeting. And first up is Resolution 2025-R17, which is the adoption of the annual budget for the fiscal year 2026, beginning January 1st and ending on December 31st, 2026. Manager Eberly, is there anything you wanted to say in regard to that? I know you gave a summary at our last meeting.
Yes, back in a November meeting, we had a presentation that went over the preliminary budget in detail. The only comment I would like is just to thank everybody's involvement in the budget. It's been since February, no, really, started a little bit in February, but really this summer it's been a part of our regular meetings, the Finance Committee, the Budget Committee, and just appreciate the opportunity to present a budget that's been thoroughly vetted and available for review and the option for adoption at this moment.
Okay. Mr. Sanders.
Ditto.
Okay, is there a motion that you'd like to make?
Yes.
Ditto?
Ditto.
Well done. Is there a ditto to that ditto?
I'll second.
Now, can we have a proper motion, please?
Yes. Mr. Chairman, please accept my motion to adopt Resolution 2025-R17, adopting the 2026 Susquehanna Township annual budget.
It's been moved by Commissioner Sanders.
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Failola. Comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next up is ordinance 2025-09, and this is establishing tax rates and assessments for the fiscal year January 1st through December 31st, 2026. Manager Eberly?
As part of the, certainly, Mr. President, as part of the process of adopting a budget, there includes tax rates for the general purpose and the fire tax that are included in the budget. And we've presented the budget that would include an increase of 0.3 for general purpose and 0.2 for fire. That's mills.
Mr. Chairman, I move to adopt ordinance 2025-9, establishing the tax rates and assessments for the fiscal year of 2026.
Second.
Moved and seconded by Commissioner Hisro. Comments or questions, members of the board? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much, and thanks to the staff for great work that you've done. Tracy, wake up. Thank you to all of you for your hard work, department heads and staff, and getting good numbers and working towards a product that we can all be proud of. So thank you. All right, moving on to reports of committees. Buildings and Grounds, Commissioner Rothrock.
Thank you, Mr. President. I don't really have much to report, but I wanted to take this opportunity to thank Fire Marshal George Dries and Director of Parks and Recreation Doug Nouse for their efforts to help me tour our properties so I could get familiar with some of these properties that I hadn't seen before. And particularly because they took the time to give me backgrounds on sort of the history of the properties and, you know, sort of their viewpoints on them, and that was very helpful to me. So thank you guys. I appreciate it. That concludes my report.
All right, thank you, rock on. Budget and Finance, Commissioner Sanderson.
No report. Looking forward to starting in February.
Public Works, Commissioner Napper.
Yes, Mr. President, the Public Works Department continues the preparation for the winter season to ensure residents can travel safely across the township. Public Works Department prepared for winter by attending drivers and snowplows safety winter training. The salt spreaders have been installed, which will ensure the Public Works Department can clear roadways quickly in the event of bad weather. We all know that the winter weather can be tricky in Pennsylvania. Drivers need to be aware of conditions and drive accordingly. We'll have employees out there working hard to clear the roadways. We want so everyone can get home safely to their families. The Public Works Department spends a lot of time planning and preparing our crews and resources that when this first snowfall falls, we can properly deploy what is needed and where. The township urges the public to prepare themselves and their vehicles now. The Public Department understands the importance of reliable travel, and we work to keep the township roads free of snow and ice. As a final note, Mr. President, located in the First Ward, the no truck signal or signage was installed on Montour and Front Street. And the last day of leaf collection is December 19th. This ends my report, sir.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Health and Sanitation, Commissioner Norford.
No report, Mr. President.
Thank you. Admin and Personnel, Commissioner Knapp.
Yes, Mr. President, Admin Personnel Committee recently met to review the proposed final draft of the 2026 Employee Handbook and discuss the Admin Personnel 2025 accomplishments and 2026 goals. The township employees participated in the health fair at the township building on November 12th. And as a final note, Mr. President, just a quick save the date reminder to my colleagues, our reorganization meeting will be held on January 5th at 5 p.m. We'll have the honorary MDJ Urrutia joining us for the swearing portion of the meeting. And this ends my report, sir.
Thank you, sir. Please, Commissioner Engel.
No report.
Thank you. Fire and EMS, Commissioner Israel.
Just very briefly, Mr. President, the end of the year report will be available at our January workshop. We can report after that point. Progress has recruited 2 new live-ins to take one from Altoona area and one from Northern Virginia. And this last reminder, the Santa Run, fire truck run for Progress is this Saturday. They have changed the date from the 20th to 13th, and Rescues is Sunday the 21st. And Rescue also has their annual Breakfast with Santa this coming Saturday from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. at the fire station on North 6th Street. And if there's anything else, I'll defer to Chief Dries when that portion of his report. Thank you. That concludes my report.
Thank you, sir. Planning and Zoning, Commissioner Rothrock.
Thank you, Mr. President. The only thing I have to report is that both the Planning Commission meeting and the Zoning Hearing Board meeting were both canceled this last month, so I wasn't as busy as usual. That concludes my report.
They're good meetings. School Board, Commissioner Falona.
Just briefly, so we, some of us joined the governor, Shapiro, and the school board yesterday. This is Susquehanna Township High School when he signed the historic K-12 funding for the coming year. So, and that's the end of my report.
Thank you. Authority Liaison, Commissioner Knapp.
Yes, Mr. President, Susquehanna Township Sewer Authority employees cleaned the Fox Run pumping station in anticipation of upcoming improvement projects. Staff is televising the Latchmere Storm Sewer System for the storm water repair. Once completed, this information will be sent to GHD Engineering for a proposed scope of work. Dolly Construction may be starting some land clearing for the Fox Run project in January. And as a final note, Mr. President, staff continues to review quotes for the new hydro excavator and the pickup truck and backhoe for 2026. This ends my report, sir.
Thank you. Shade Tree Commission, Commissioner Cross.
Yes, the next Shade Tree Commission meeting will be December the 18th at 4 p.m. That ends my report.
Communications Commissioner Norford.
No report, Mr. President.
I understand we have a newsletter coming out, right? You have all your copy, Doug?
Got all the copy. We're going to be starting proofing here shortly, and the anticipated mail date is January 6th.
Very good. Thank you. Human Relations?
No report.
No report, okay. Parks and Rec, Commissioner Paloma?
I'd like to report that we had a successful Candy Cane Fest last December 6th at the Boyd Park, and we had a pleasure of visits from Mr. and Santa and Ms. Ross, as well as Ola. So thank you, Doug, and the Parks and Rec Department for staging that event despite the very cold weather. It's December, right?
It's winter.
It's winter. And weather reports.
Technically fall.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
It's cold fall. All right, thank you. Bids and contracts, resolution 2025-19. This is the request to approve the renewal of the franchise agreement with Verizon Cable. Manager Everly?
Thank you, Mr. President. Cohen Law Group was hired on behalf of several municipalities to negotiate the Verizon contract. They were successful in negotiating a new 5-year cable franchise contract agreement. The summary of the provisions are in your packet, but relatively few changes from previous years. So the new contract will begin January 1st and it ends December 31st, 2030.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, Paloma and Isro. Comments or questions?
I just had a quick question. When I was reading it, when it referred to like Verizon and the incumbent cable company, who was the incumbent? Is it
Comcast.
was it Comcast? That's what I was wondering. I thought maybe because I couldn't find where it named it, but I assumed it wasn't.
It's an obscure mom and pop organization.
Yeah. But that's, because why I termed it is the incumbent, but that's fine. That's what I thought maybe it meant, but I wanted to just double check.
Yeah. All right, it's been moved and seconded. Any other comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next up is action on ordinances and resolutions. And first is Susquehanna Township refinancing of the 2018 bond. Teresa?
Thank you, Mr. President. I can start the conversation. We are joined tonight by Concord Public Financial Advisors as well as Raymond James. The reason that we're having this discussion is back in 2018, the township, on behalf of the authority, issued a bond in the aggregate amount of $32,255,000 to provide funding for certain authority-related sewer systems improvements and for the cost of issuing the bonds. In April, the township, that's April of 26, will be able to call the bond, meaning that the township can exercise the right to pay off the bond, retire the debt service before its initial maturity date, and doing so looking at reissuing at a much lower interest rate, which could potentially save us significant amount of money. So we're at the point in time where we're exploring how we get there, because it takes many, many months to go through that process. So the Concord Public Finance Advisors and Raymond James have spoken to the authority, and they're here tonight to continue the conversation of what that process would look like and how we get started.
Well, good evening. Is that on?
It's on.
Nice to see you and be with you again. I think you did a great job, Teresa, in giving the summary of what we have this evening. What I put in front of each of your places was a summary of where the interest rates are currently and how those interest rates affect any type of refinancing available. If you look at the first page, it's an interest rate chart. It's a Dow Jones Industrial Average equivalent, if you will, of 20-year interest rates in the municipal bond market. If you look to the far right of that chart, you see rates actually have gone up slightly in the last couple of weeks. And again, keep in mind this is long-term rates. You've heard about the Federal Reserve short-term interest rates, but the long-term interest rates are really a function of what people think is going on in the market. That would mean that the market sees some possibilities of inflation or other factors that would not allow long-term rates to go down yet. We'll have to see how that plays out itself right now, but at this point, that's kind of where interest rates have kind of placed themselves. My next page on that handout essentially is what Teresa just went through. The only highlights I would make on that page is that under current market conditions, the net present value savings after all fees and costs in the refinancing, if you did it under current market conditions, would save approximately $649,000. It's important to note that when we discussed this refinancing with the Susquehanna Township Authority, the board authorized a minimum level of savings of $1 million. So in order to get to that savings of $1 million, interest rates need to fall about 1/3 of a percent. And that's kind of where we are right now. We've put on the last page kind of in the green box is kind of a summary of how we come to the savings and where the savings will be structured in the first 2 fiscal years. That would be on rows 8 and 9. Column 23 indicates, in the green box, indicates how much net present value savings would be in this refinance. As you can see on the right, the orange box sets if a bank loan would be an opportunity. At this point, it's really so far off the mark, it's really not worthwhile pursuing. We'll keep that in mind as we go along here, but in order to hit the market if we can when the savings are available, we're going to move ahead with the bond issue financing at this point.
So does this take into account yesterday's action by the Fed?
Effectively, yes. Yeah.
Does?
Yeah, what's shown here is pricing of financing done last week, and interest rates in the tax-exempt market really haven't moved since then.
Yeah, and nothing will happen before April 1st, correct?
Well,
So
actually-
we have to just kind of see where things, we can give approval tonight, but we've got like 4 months before we even make a decision, I guess.
Good point. I need to make a little bit of clarification here.
Okay.
Under federal tax law, you're allowed to actually settle on a refinance 90 days before the call date.
Oh, okay.
That'd be January 1st. You actually could set a rate about 45 days before that, brings you kind of to middle of November. So if interest rates were at the right point right now, we actually could move ahead.
Yeah, but I'm not sure with the chart you just showed me, we're at probably the worst part of rates for the entire year. So that it probably would, if I was making a bet, probably would just wait a little bit and see if, based on what's going on in the market, I mean, that's my sense. I mean, is that what you're recommending?
At this point, the minimum savings can't be met, so we can't really move ahead. Our thought, though, is to actually to come to the board either the first or the second meeting of January and have what is called a parameters ordinance considered for passage, which essentially says, if you get the $1 million, you don't have to come back to the board. We would just move ahead with the refinancing at that point. So that's really where we are. That's a great point, is that, yes, it's April, but tax law allows you some type of flexibility, 3 months worth of flexibility that we could use if the market conditions are right.
But can you do that within the 90 days?
Yes.
It does not have to be 90 days out, it could be
It could be 20
80 days.
Yes, it could be 20 days. It could be 30 days after if you ultimately are getting that savings. It's just that you can't start any quicker than January 1st. You can go any time after January.
So, and what was the 45 days?
The 45 days is essentially from the time that the rates are locked in to the time actually the settlement would occur. That 90th day window would start at that point when the settlement occurs. So there's kind of 2 steps, if you will. One is you price the bonds, then you settle. That's the second step. That second step has to be within the 90-day period of April 1st.
What's the current rate on the bond we have?
4%.
Okay. And if I understand you correctly, we're shooting for $1 million savings with this refinancing. And if we don't achieve that $1 million, we're just going to continue with the bond as is.
That's correct. That's correct.
I was gonna say, for example, March of 2021, that in 2021 time period during the pandemic, it was all the way down to 2%. I mean, we'd be jumping in that.
And quite frankly, we took advantage of that at the time, by financing some of the projects for the authority. So good news, bad news, I guess, really. Thank you.
Is there any cost associated with what you're requesting tonight?
No, no. Essentially, everybody gets paid if the transaction occurs. Until that point, there's no cost.
Okay, so what we're looking at, Teresa, is authorization to move ahead along the lines of what you and Chris suggested.
Yes, Mr. President.
Motion to adopt?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Great, thank you so much, we'll be back.
Thank you.
Where are you getting your second to?
Huh?
Where are you getting
Any of
your
the thread.
second?
It was a jump ball, you said.
His daughter, they probably got it.
Unanimous second.
Okay. Next up is resolution 2025 R18, which would adopt the fee schedule. Mac.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good evening, Commissioners. Provided with the agenda is a copy of Resolution 2025 R18, which would amend the existing fee schedule and create the 2026 fee schedule. The fee schedule describes all costs for services recuperated by the township, including those associated with permit review and issuance, subdivision and land development review, and other services and activities undertaken by the township. In this fee schedule amendment, there are several minor changes proposed to the fee schedule, most notably parks and pavilion rentals, some minor tweaks to building and zoning permit fees, and labor rates for public works staff. At this meeting, the staff is requesting approval of the resolution for the 2026 fee schedule. As discussed previously, the changes are relatively minor. There are some small consistency changes. The changes that were done for 2025 were much larger, so these are just cleanup changes or changes that staff is requesting after working within the existing structure for a year. I think it's important to note that the fee schedule can be changed at any time via resolution. It was changed a couple times this year in the middle of the year, so that's something that can be done if programs are changed, expanded, canceled, or brought online. So the fee schedule can be changed at any point by the commissioners via resolution. I'm happy to go over any questions or go over any of the fee schedule in more detail, but that's all I have at the moment. Thank you.
It's a lot of work in it.
Yes.
Yeah. No, you guys did a great job.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Is there a motion?
I'll move for approval of the fee schedule.
Second.
Moved and seconded by Commissioner Cross. Comments or questions? Now, will this fee schedule address the comments that Ms. Benbow presented?
Yeah, so there were no changes at this time proposed to the massage portion of this, the cost for the license and the licensing of the technicians. With that being said, Manager Everly and I talked this morning about this. I think, especially for the specialists who spoke, professionals who spoke earlier, you know, we could look at working within our existing structure to work with them on it, and we are in the process of looking at modifying and revising our existing massage ordinance. So I think at that time, that would be the appropriate time to amend the fee schedules when the ordinance were to be changed. That was what was done last year with the amusement places. So there's no changes at this time. I think Manager Everly can work with Ms. Benbow on the matter until the ordinance changes.
Yeah, thank you. And I believe they're planning to come to the December 18th Health Board meeting, so that'll be great.
All right.
I'd like to give a big thank you to staff and to, for working and trying to move quickly on the changes for draft ordinance. And we're looking forward to making it more modern. It was definitely outdated.
Yes.
We appreciate very much you bringing it to our attention. That's sometimes how these things happen. That we have folks who step forward and let us know that we need to do some work. So I do thank you for your efforts and your interest in making sure we get it right. So we'll work. It's also good to have input from the folks that are in the field, so we'll be looking for that as well. But do want to thank staff for moving quickly on it, and you too, Mac, for all your work on the fee schedule. It is a very arduous task, and it takes somebody with great patience and detail to get that done, so thank you for that. And volunteering to do, I believe, so.
Volunteer.
Wow.
Well, it's been moved and seconded. Any other comments or questions? Now, this applies to the authority as well?
No,
No.
the authority has a separate fee
Separate fee
schedule. I think
schedule.
they're looking to adopt in January. This is just for township
Okay, gotcha.
fees.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thanks, Mike. Appointments. First up is Chief, if you would.
Yes, sir.
The appointment of patrol officers Alejandro Butler and Kevin Del Cid.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. Alejandro and Kelvin have come to the end of the probationary period, and they have my highest recommendation that we retain them as permanent officers.
Mr. President,
Yes, sir.
I move to grant permanent appointment status to patrol officers Alejandro Butler and Kevin Del Cid.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. Any comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next up is appointment of patrol officer first class Ben Gaynor to the detective status effective 12/11/25.
Yes, so my recommendation is that we appoint Officer Ben Gaynor to the position of detective tonight. Officer Ben Gaynor, who you actually met, I think, within the last year, is in an undercover capacity, so he's back here tonight. And recently, when I briefed all of you, it might have been even for the blotter, on all of the raids at the smoke shops, it was Ben who was the lead on that and instrumental in not only recovering hundreds of thousands of dollars in cash, but even more hundreds of thousands of dollars in illegal narcotics. So that's my highest recommendation for this appointment.
Mr. President, I approve the appointment, I move to approve the appointment of Patrol Officer First Class Ben Gaynor to detective effective 12/11/25.
Second.
Moved and seconded by Commissioner Paloma. Comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next up is appointment of an alternate member of the zoning hearing board. As many of you know, our previous alternate stepped aside for personal reasons. And we really think it's prudent, past practice and future practice, to have an alternate so that we're assured of having at least a quorum available to decide important issues. Issues that go before the zoning hearing board are not only important, but they're not reviewable by either staff or the Board of Commissioners. They go directly to the Court of Common Pleas. So you have to make sure you have good people in there, very knowledgeable and proud of their community, and willing to put in the time it makes to render very wise decisions. So we do have an applicant who put his name forward. And Mac, do you want to tee it up, please? Sure.
Thank you, Mr. President. Provided with your agenda packets was a letter of interest and a resume from Mr. John Castelli, who has put his name forward for the alternate role on the zoning hearing board. Manager Everly and myself have met and interviewed with Mr. Castelli. He was present at last month's zoning hearing board meeting, which was a very interesting one. And I believe he was interviewed earlier by the board in executive session. Manager Everly and I feel that Mr. Castelli is a great fit for this role. He has lengthy experience working with local government committee with the legislature. And if he is appointed tonight, his term will run until December 31st, 2027, serving out the remainder of the alternate's term. And we will work with Mr. Castelli to get him acclimated to the board, help him along the way, and make sure he enjoys his time on the board. That's all I have. I believe Mr. Castelli's here if you have anything to add. Thank you.
Mr. President, I'll move approval.
All right.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Comments or questions? All's in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Congratulations. Welcome aboard.
Thank you all.
Okay, moving on to staff reports. Township manager?
Thank you, Mr. President. The one item that I'd like to just talk briefly about is the change in our trash service. It's brought about a lot of questions from our residents. I think each of you have fielded many questions. I mean, it's a big undertaking for a township. I mean, it affects every single resident in the township, and it impacts people's perception of how the quality of service they have, disruptions and so forth. So I can't even tell you how many calls we have fielded. When I say we, I really mean Leanne. Leanne has fielded so many calls, and with such patience and grace, I know you're really proud of how we handle it, because it's not easy. There's a lot of confusion, and we're getting through them. I think all the carts have been delivered. We're still working through changes from some of the residents who would like to see things differently, and meeting again with our trash provider on Monday to make sure that we get it all right. So we're continuing to tweak it a little bit. Any updates that we have in terms of what residents should expect to see, we try to keep that on our website, and we point residents to that information. So day by day, we work through it. Some folks are able, they have the cans, they can start using the trash service with the carts immediately. They don't have to, but as of January 1st, the new cart service does go into effect. So I just want to put it out there that we try really hard to do whatever we can to satisfy our residents, because it is a huge change, and we want to make sure that we're there for our residents and can meet them halfway on what we need to do. So I don't know if you have any questions or anything that is on your mind about trash service, but again, if you need anything, you can call me, but really you'll get Leanne. So just hats off. I can't say enough to how she's managed all the calls and has done it so gracefully.
Manager Everly, I just would like to comment that I think Penn Waste has done a good job with my residents that have called. They haven't answered the question the way the residents wanted it answered, but they answered it in such a way that they seem to understand it. So I just wanted to add that comment to our vendor.
Thank you.
And the only thing I would like to add, without going into details, there were at least several complaints that I dealt with in the last week, which I passed along, which it seems to me Penn Waste customer support is anything that comes up, their response is we'll deal with it in March. And in some of these cases, the customer was, in the right in terms of what they did and whatnot. And I would hope that we can get better response than it'll be, we'll do it in March. They can move more quickly on some of these issues to get them resolved.
Thank you. What's one of the pieces of parts of the conversation we'll have on Monday? I think their initial reaction was let everybody have an opportunity to get used to the can, see if you like it. It may change your mind. Is that they're wanting us to do a once and done once that all happens. So we want everybody to be comfortable with that decision. I think operationally they have some issues with doing a quick turn, but we have, I know, helped several residents who can't, they can't wait till March. So we do everything we can to accommodate those residents. So thank you.
I guess the one where the person in November asked for the 96, they had been low volume, but since they're going to pay and they called specifically and well within the time frame of what making calls, and then they were told when they got the low volume can instead last week, they were told we have to wait till March now, and yet they call stuff like that. To me, I hear you, like to let people like whether they like it or not, but in some instances there's just been mistakes made that I'd like to see them get acted on right away if we can.
But if I could just pick back up on that, I think their point was if they had 100 people call individually, that would be 100 times they had to send someone out to deal with it. If they wait until they find out there are numerous complaints in a certain area, then they can deal with it at one time. And that wasn't going to happen quickly. And no, they're not saying what our residents want them to say, but they are answering the phone and they're responding very, very timely. So.
Thank you. I'll pass that along. And we are trying to balance, as best we can. It's a big undertaking, as you can imagine. It's huge.
Yeah. And Leanne does a great job.
She did.
Yeah. It's funny, we do this every 5 years under law, after renewal period is 5 years. This is the first one I remember where the subject wasn't rates. It was the nature of the container and the fact that you have a container. Yeah, it always used to be about rates, but now we have the lowest, if not among the lowest rates in central Pennsylvania, which is great. But you don't hear those calls, or do you get those calls?
We do.
You get those calls?
Yeah, you did
But
go
it's
an
too low.
increase.
We want to pay more.
Well,
Right.
it's the two-tier thing. So
Yeah.
the people that were low volume, because it's doubled for them.
Yeah.
So you hear that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, but a lot of it is the trash, cans.
I'd also like to commend Manager Everly and the staff because I did answer a lot of field a lot of questions on this. And what's good about this whole thing is that our residents are actually aware of what's going on around us. They knew of the rates from other townships, neighboring townships, and they really appreciate that we got the best rates. So thank you for that.
It's welcome. Any other comments?
Yeah, what he said.
What he said? Ditto. Do you have anything else, Manager?
That's all, Mr. President. Thank you.
Okay. Public safety, Chief, do you have anything?
I don't, sir.
All right. Fire,
No,
Mr.
sir.
Marshall, do you?
No, sir.
All right. Public Works, anything going on out there? No? Okay. Engineering?
One brief thing.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. President. The board has my report. If they have any questions, certainly be able to answer. I did want to give a very brief update on the Cone Road Bridge structural assessment. Got the results of the most recent inspection showing no significant changes, so obviously good news on that front. Hopefully that remains the course through the eventual replacement. They're on a 3-month inspection cycle for that bridge, which is a little bit more expedited than the typical 6-month. So again, beginning of the year, we'll see another inspection coming up. In terms of the funding effort, the agreements are in the hands of PennDOT Central Office. Once the blessing is given by that office, a field view will be set to occur at the site with PennDOT. The township is required to have representation at that meeting, so we'll coordinate that effort. We'll be there as well. That's anticipated within hopefully 3 months to be performed. Once that gets rolling, then we should see some pretty significant movement in getting the bridge replaced. Again, slated for 2027 construction.
Yeah, 2020, yeah. I'll confirm that. Because now that we're getting pretty close now.
Yeah.
So we wound up not spending that money on a temporary bridge, and it looks like it may work out, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah. So either way, during the replacement, you can expect several month, no service through that corridor, anticipated to be about 3 months.
And when do you feel that we will let the public know about the detour? How soon in advance prior to the construction?
That will be in part of the permitting process through PennDOT, so that obviously is one of the first steps, you need the environmental permit and then the PennDOT permit. So that should be, the detour plan should be made apparent pretty early in the process, so we can get that posted out. Very good.
Thank you.
One other quick question on the Public Works storage building. I was reading, the report's pretty much been the same since the beginning of the year, like, it details like, that we're at as of February. Has there been any movement with staff or whatever to get that moving along further, or?
Not that I've.
Okay.
Thanks. Solicitor, do we have anything?
Law Bureau has nothing, sir.
Thank you. Parks and Rec, Doug? Thank you. All right, new business. Consent agenda, there's multiple items under that. Approval of bills for November 30th, 2025. Approve of the resignation letter of Officer Daniel Paz effective 11/16/25. Approve payment number 3 to Construction Masters, Inc. for the 2025 Susquehanna Township paving project in the amount of $378,977.07. Approve application for payment number 1, payroll certifications and reconciliation change, reflecting actual quantities installed for the municipal building sidewalk project. The reconciliation quantities installed result in a $989.88 increase in the contract amount, reflecting additional topsoil and seed required to restore the disturbed areas. The quantities were reviewed by HRG, and HRG recommends approval of the change order and application for payment. Change order revises the total contract price to $54,339.88. Next up is approved financial security adjustment number 9, in the amount of $41,052 for Susquehanna Union Green Phase 2A, 2C, 2E, 3B, and 5. Repeat that, Sean. HRG performed a site inspection on November 19th to determine the extent of completion of items covered by the financial security, and based on observation of work completed, the remaining financial security is $87,406. Alex, is that for the whole project, for whole Union Green, or just this
No,
site?
so that's the phase 2, 3, 5 is a.
And 2C?
Yeah.
And 2B? Okay.
They combine those.
3B, that's the ice cream place.
Yeah.
Okay.
They combine them into one kind of cumulative phase. So that's mostly the single family residential area.
Okay.
To the south. So they're still working on the eastern portion of the single family.
So basically the landmark homes area?
Correct.
Okay.
Largely.
Okay, thank you. And finally, approved financial security adjustment number 1 in the amount of $42,479 for Chase Bank. Based on observations of work completed, HRG recommends that financial security be adjusted to $9,299.
Motion to approve consent agenda.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any comments or questions? All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next up, and Keith, time for you to shine again. Certify the civil service list and improve the conditional officer employment for Colby White, conditioned upon all MOPEC requirements. Chief?
Yes, first I recommend that the board certify the civil service list provided to you by the Civil Service Commission.
Mr. President.
Yes, sir.
I move that we certify the list provided by the Civil Service Commission applicable to the rank of Patrol Officer First Class.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
I recommend that we provide a conditional offer of employment to Mr. Colby White. And I'd be remiss, Commissioners, I know he came before you tonight for interview, and he's a very humble guy, young man back there. But I just want to describe what he did in the United States military. Air Force combat controllers are elite special operations forces who deploy in the hostile environments to establish airfields, control air traffic, direct airstrikes, and provide command and control acting as the first there to enable air power in any location, functioning as certified air traffic controllers and versatile special operators with skills in communications, demolitions, and direct action. He's a humble young man, but he's done a lot for our country. And he has my recommendation to give him this conditional offer of employment.
Mr. President.
Sir?
I move that we approve and make a conditional offer to the employment of Colby White effective January 13th, 2026.
Second.
Moved and seconded by Commissioner Norfolk. So, no, we're still not clear on whether or not he's a Philly fan, but that's okay. It's not a job requirement. You'll work on it.
But he is a bicycle rider, Mr. President.
Well put, Mr. Larford. Any comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
All right. Mary Kay here. Resident concern report. Ashley. Mary Kay. Ashley. Also.
Commissioners, we're here tonight to propose a solution to the rising cost and inefficiency of our C-Click Fix current complaint reporter. It's an annual increase of 5%. It enrolled several times, and it seems to be high. We're proposing the in-house GIS system, which will allow us to provide the same excellent service we have been, while simultaneously achieving cost savings, increasing efficiency, and controlling and making decisions based on resident data. The focus of our presentation is the in-house GIS resident concern reporter. The proposal outlines to move towards a more cost-effective and increased efficiency and operational efficiency. The current goal is to maintain citizen engagement, service delivery while reducing costs, increasing efficiency. The object of this new in-house GIS system is to reduce staff labor and lower annual costs and allow the township to control the data and concerns of the residents. We look forward to walking you through the system and its many benefits and our detailed implementation plan, ultimately seeking approval to implement the in-house GIS system. Ms. Mary Kate.
Well, sure. God bless you.
So, we'll start with how GIS works, very brief synopsis. GIS, the foundation of a GIS map is essentially a base map with stacked transparent layers, as you might call them. The layers used by the township include boundaries, infrastructure, parks, trash, routes, and vacant property. Those are just some of the ones that we would use. I did put some examples in there, like our ward boundaries, game of skill locations, township park trails, trash collection schedule, vacant property inventory, stuff like that. Essentially, you can turn on and off layers, so it allows you to only see the information that you would need at the time, but you can have as many layers as you want, and use those layers to kind of show what you're trying to depict on a certain map. I think we've had maps like the games of skill locations and stuff like that before. You might be doing with that. So by stacking these, you can show those relationships, like where do most residents live, where are complaint hotspots and trends, and what assets in your flood zone. Those are some of the answers that can be, or some of the questions that can be answered through this data. And there's a diagram to the right that kind of shows how those layers come together to be one integrated map. Essentially, GIS creates smart maps that help us make better decisions. So essentially, what we would like to move forward with is a smarter in-house GIS solution. Our goal is to maintain the current citizen engagement and service delivery while reducing the costs and increasing efficiency kind of on the back end. So what we're proposing is the in-house GIS-based resident concern reporter, and our objective is to reduce staff labor, reduce annual costs, and obtain control of our data, which we do not currently have with our current platform. And we can use this data that we collect to make decisions. Our current challenge, our existing third-party concern reporting platform is very effective, but it does come with high annual costs, as Eric did mention, and it has limited data flexibility on our end because it is a third-party service. Our proposed solution is to implement and manage an in-house concern reporting system using the township's existing GIS and IT resources. The outcome essentially will be a sustainable township managed platform that will not only save money, but also enhance the service delivery to residents in the long run. Our in-house GIS solution was built using our currently licensed ArcGIS platform. The additional licensing required would be a Hub Premium. This would essentially be a feature that allows security and citizen logins within the platform that we don't currently have with our GIS licensing currently, because we don't have anything that we're offering that we would need that for. But essentially it's for the encryption of the reports. Citizens could keep track of all of the concerns that they've reported. It also allows you to send notifications through this. They could sign up for email notifications for their concerns, or also for other things if we were to implement things in the future. It also has an interactive dashboard, and it is mobile friendly not only for the residents but also for the staff that are responding to these concerns. So a quick workflow overview. A citizen would submit their concern. That concern would then go to a feature layer within our GIS automatically. From that, GIS automatically will send an email or text alert to the staff based off of the assigned priority. So for things like an object in the road, or if there's an illicit discharge or anything like that, and it's not during our normal business hours, those tend to get lost because we aren't checking our emails. So if it's something that needs to be taken care of more urgently, we would receive a text notification to an employee that would be assigned to that. And normal priority would just be emails as we get now. From there, the staff would update the status, perform inspections, things like that. The dashboard that the resident has access to will update continuously, showing the status changes all the way through closure. Upon closure of the resident concern, the resident is sent an email notification with the resolution that is that ultimately comes from the staff's inspections and whatever that might be. And they are also given an optional survey to take to allow us to receive feedback on how we are doing. So the projected cost reduction that we are anticipating is about $22,152 annually. This is also where we will get the full data ownership and control, a customizable interface that we can tailor to our needs as a township, seamless GIS integration with our other GIS layers and data that we currently use or could use in the future, as well as it's flexible enough to handle those inspections, infrastructure management, and code enforcement tasks that we do. So we could set up where the staff member could actually go out and perform an inspection, and this is where we kind of see those automated flows. You don't have to necessarily do as much manual input.
On top of the $22,000 saved, we're projecting a labor or staff hour savings of roughly 1,500 hours, which comes to the tune of $30,000 to $40,000 a year as we move forward, annually saving us time and effort. We're going to do that by reporting directly in the field. I'll be able to answer a complaint, close it, or move forward with it in the field, where now I look at it and I have to come back and then I report on it, and then I upload everything. This would all be done right in the field.
Our implementation plan, phase 1 is currently to January of 2026. We are configuring, testing, and piloting the citizen concern reporter. It has been developed. We are kind of doing public launch and training like in February to May. So that would be where we would essentially launch it side by. We would continue C-Click Fix, but we would also launch this to kind of have a seamless integration. There will not be much on the resident side that they would notice a change. And then for the ongoing phase, it would just be updates, maintenance to the system expansion. As we use it, we can tailor it how we see fit. And then from there, it's very minimal maintenance from that point on. So it would be maintained by Township GIS staff. It was developed using our existing GIS licensing. Any regular updates would be in-house. And like I said, it'd be very minimal upkeep once implemented, other than, maybe 1 to 2 hours a month of maintenance to upkeep the system outside of something catastrophic happening. But yeah. So these are side-by-sides of the Civic Plus versus the in-house GIS. This is what a resident would see when they go to see the current concerns, public concerns throughout the township. As you can see, it's very minimal difference in design. This is what a request submission would look like. Again, very minimal difference other than layout and some, design aspects. The map is still there, the request category type, their option to make it public or private is also there, and they can also submit their email to receive those email notifications. This is a new feature that we would have if we were to implement this. This is a report concern dashboard, so this is an internal staff dashboard that actually visually will show average resolution time, how many requests are we getting in each type, how many requests per month, how many open requests we have. It automatically takes all the data we have and puts it into this visual aid for us to have at our fingertips to kind of see the trends that are happening throughout the township. There's also a survey results tab that shows a visual based off of, how we're doing, and allows us to make changes where we do. Some key takeaways. So essentially, we would be achieving more than $22,000 in annual savings by going to the in-house reporter. It ensures full ownership and control of our resident concern data and supports data-driven decision-making across the township operations, enhances responsiveness, coordination, and transparency for residents as well as staff. And our request is for approval to move forward with the implementation of the in-house resident.
Mr. President, I'd like to move for approval of this worthwhile in-house project and to terminate the C-Click fixed subscription as part of it.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Comments, questions?
I think this is excellent. Good job. Thank you.
Yeah.
I have a question. So let's say there's a report of water by a bus stop, school bus stop, and now it's because of the weather, it's icy. How will the reporter resident make this like urgent, or do you have all these different categories or report or whatever that is? Yeah.
The back end would essentially take keywords within the request or the type of request, if we can set specific types to trigger the priority, but also keywords like in the road or stuff like that can be triggered to change the priority of the request automatically on our end. We wouldn't have we could offer that to have them, but I think everybody would probably put their request as high priority.
Right. But are you able to like configure so that say keywords like a school bus stop and ice, you know that's a dangerous situation, so it goes up like highest priority?
Yeah.
Because we do have that situation now in some areas. So.
Yeah.
So how long will you do your parallel with the current vendor?
So we have to give 60 days?
So if you have 60 days notice, the contract expires on May 15th. So
we plan to run the parallel between February and May, and then May would be.
So you'll have about 90 days of the parallel. So a little bit to Fred's question is in your setting your priority, I mean, it's 24/7. So, and you can determine within the system who would be notified?
Yeah.
So you can set that up with a a primary and a secondary, just in the event. And then my only other question is, how many people on our staff will be trained in maintenance? If you and Eric leave us in 6 months, will there be someone here that would know how to maintain what needs to be done with this system?
Yes, and there would also be a guidance document as well as an SOP created for the entire.
That was a good answer. Thanks.
And
Thank you.
also, there is a pop-up message that automatically comes up when they go to report that says if this is an emergency, please do not submit your, if it's an actual true emergency, please don't submit your concerns here, please call 911 or the non-emergency line.
Sure, yeah.
Especially with like spills as well, it has the non-emergency spill line.
So, great job, guys. Great job.
Mr. President, I go to about 4 municipal meetings a week, about 10 or 12 a month, and I'm not sure I've ever seen members of municipal government make changes to a program to save money and make government more accountable and responsive to its residents. I think it's a significant improvement, significant step forward that these two employees and others have done for the township. That it is an innovative solution created by the township for township residents. And when people complain about government, they should see things like this.
That's high praise coming from that guy.
Since he brought that up, would it be packageable? Could we sell it to other places?
And all of
Cover our budget.
All of a sudden, we're Google? Why not, right? Why not? But I can tell you, I look forward to this because this could be yet another model solution that we can showcase to the rest, to the other municipalities around us, or even to the rest of the state. So I'd love to see more.
Agree, Fred, but let's sell it to them.
What's the name going to be of the program?
It's a Mary Kate, I believe.
Yes. We can't call it the
We're just
RDIS.
tossing around ideas. We do have Susquehanna Connects, which isn't tied to C-Quick Fix. It's kind of our thing that we could
So
do.
C-Click fixes, I guess, copyright.
C-Quick Fix is, but Susquehanna Connects is ours. I believe it's ours. Yeah, and we had like reporter concerns.
Will you do away with that app?
C-Click Fix would then be gone.
Yeah, so our app, I don't.
The
I think
Reconnect,
we've
everybody
kind
has
of-
on there.
We've kind of talked about trying to connect it.
We're working on
Yeah,
the
we're-
website.
yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
I won't bother you anymore. I'll ask my
I-
questions on.
I'm not an app developer, but I'm pretty sure we could figure out if we wanted to keep the app, how to do that, but.
So it's good to have a good name because branding is everything, as they say, right? Brand it well, and people will remember. Okay, and you go with that.
Called Fred knows.
Yeah.
Sure knows everything. Okay.
I guess
Thanks for that.
Mr. Wonderful is on.
Thank you. Excellent work. Excellent.
So we have a motion and a second to proceed. Any other comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Nice work, guys. Thank you.
All right, next up is license plate reading system grant extension.
Mr. President, I'm bringing Lieutenant Forgos with me as a technical advisor in case there's any questions.
I did not develop a program.
So when you look at this grant, just a little history. Over 3 years ago, President Biden and his administration put forth across the nation to law enforcement a lot of funding to enhance technology in law enforcement. When we talk about technology in law enforcement in America, I want you to think of one word: victims. It's always about the victims, okay? Now, this man wrote that grant, and at the same time, we were coming to a need to replace our body-worn cameras as well as our mobile video recorders, which cost, as you can see, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars. In that grant, we were able to achieve that and save the township that money for that replacement. And we also, went for the funding for the license plate reader systems. As the hour is late, I'm not going to bore you, but what I have here, everything that you see in highlighted is crimes from this year, solved, victims made whole through our license plate readers just in Susquehanna Township. Worth its weight in gold. In 2025, I can't share with you the importance of license plate readers. One significant example I will give you is earlier this year, a license plate reader caught homicide suspects from North Carolina on Route 22. They were tracked to a hotel in Lower Paxton Township. The SWAT team was called. 2 suspects that were wanted for homicide were taken into custody. They were fleeing north into New England. Saved lives, saved who knows what, just because it was caught on this license plate reader. What Andy's been able to do is get this extension from this grant 3 years ago and get us an upgrade in our license plate readers that we currently have, as well as pay for the maintenance fee that we had budgeted for 2026. There is no match. It's 100% refunded. It's $81,000 out, which will upgrade our system, pay for the maintenance fee for 2026. That's going to save us money, $35,000, and receive the exact amount of money back. It is money well spent for the victims, for our officers in Susquehanna Township.
Mr. President?
Yes, sir.
I move to ratify the grant extension for 2026 license plate reader system in the amount of $81,000.
Second?
Moved and seconded by the President. So there's no new money here, right? This is just existing money that we were already awarded.
Yes.
And the ability to spend it.
It is, sir, exactly, yes. You know, one of the things that happened is from the initial time that Andy wrote the grant, a lot of this technology actually went down in price. So there was this extra money left for us. We didn't want to leave it there. And if it can upgrade us and save us $35,000 next year, this man deserves all the credit.
Very good. Any other questions or comments by board members? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, guys.
President, thank you, board. Thank you,
Thank you.
Thanks, Lieutenant.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lieutenant.
Next up is a handicap parking request at 2233 Bow Street. Chief?
Yes, Commissioners, before you have a traffic study to receive for 2233 Bow Street. In my opinion, it is an immediate medical need, so I thank Manager Everly for getting this on the agenda as well as President Lynch. It is recommended. I concur with the recommendation.
So moved, President.
Moved by Commissioner Sanderson.
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Hinkle. Comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Commissioner comments?
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chief.
Thank you. Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Who seconded? This or I think it's seconded by his
Hand, but if you just didn't hear.
Unanimous uproar.
I did my mom.
You're too shy for that. All's in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We are out of here.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays.